Football is back, ladies and gentlemen, which now means it's time to get your team's football shirt. But I'm not trying to pay £120 for a football shirt. I'm just saying. But I have found the solution for myself and for you, the lovely audience of the Don Husam channel, with your own coupon promo code. And this is the solution, ladies and gentlemen. All you've got to do is just go to okjersey.com. As you guys can see, all the options are there. Of course, I'm a Liverpool fan, you guys already know. And then this is the shirt. Look how amazing it looks. I'm just going to go pick my size. And then after that, I'm going to choose the Premier League patch. And listen, I'm too old to be putting any player names on the back. So I'm just going to get it as it is. I'm going to click add to cart, view cart. And this is the same thing that you guys do on any website. You proceed to checkout. You fill in all your information. And then after that, coupon code Husam. When you click this coupon code, you get a 8% discount. Enjoy shopping, guys. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome. Why are you on your phone? Respect the audience.
Respect. We're talking about respect the audience when I'm not the reason we're 12 minutes late.
Yeah, neither am I. Where's Mike Das? And you're lagging. See? There you go.
Oh,
See? There you are. You're lagging. See, that's what you get for chatting shit. Chat shit, get banged. Mate. Yeah. Now what? Yeah. Oh, look who's in trouble. Oh, crazy. This is not a Chelsea stream. Clearly there is something wrong with your eyes because it says tactical breakdown. What is wrong with slot tactics? What does that have to do with Chelsea, mate? Day 79 of 1,300 of your world champs, Chelsea. You're also in 6th. Anyway, Thomas, how are you, brother? You good?
I'm good, mate. I've not to think about Liverpool for a couple of days. Been enjoying life in general. Been, relaxed. So Salah today got Egypt to the World Cup for only the second time in 30.
Yep.
Only the second time in 30 odd years. The first time was also by him, but he's crap. He's overrated. All this, that, and the other. Scored 2 goals as well, so it turns out he's not shit, and he's not washed, and he's not a liability. Who'd have thought that, eh? No, I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. I still haven't actually watched back the Chelsea game. I just remember what I need to remember from that game and all the stuff that's come out afterwards.
I mean, it's painful. It's painful. It's painful.
Not really.
The
painful one would be if we fucked up against United. That's the one that would be painful. These ones now don't really.
Oh no! That would be way worse than painful. That would be like we'd have to get in a nuclear bunker, hide in the mountains of Switzerland to speak with each other. You get me? That's what you want. So yeah. Anyway, guys, look. Already 120 people in the building. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. Mr. Mike Das will be joining us for 5 minutes to talk to us about, in his words, vagina ball. So let's see what Mike has up his sleeve. So please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Tomorrow I'm back, inshallah, with Premier League Lounge. So yeah, we're cooking up, guys. We're cooking up elite entertainment for you guys.
I'll be honest. Sorry to interrupt, but I'll be honest. We can do the whole talk about what we think the problems are, but I think we all know what the problems are. I think we'd be better off spending our time figuring out how to actually fix it rather than just going, this is the problem. Because I think there's multiple ways you can go about fixing this. I don't think it's a one.
You can start. Go for it.
Solution thing. Because I'm gonna. I'll get my tactics board set up now. But when you look at the Chelsea game, and the thing that we need to focus on is what was said by Cucurella after the game when he done an interview. He done an interview with whoever it was, the Sky Sports. And in that interview, they basically said that their team made a concerted effort to target our right-hand side. So, Salah and Szoboszlai and Bradley. And that's a real problem. Because if teams are going to make a concerted effort to target our right side, because they know Salah's not going to run, and we're not going to make Salah run, then we are fucked. So we need to figure out how to fix that, because an element of that has to be we need Mohamed Salah starting games, don't we? And to me, the solution to that is, Szoboszlai has to play, but then you look at Szoboszlai against against Chelsea. He was running, but it was a lot of wasted running. It was a lot of needless running. It was a lot of running that didn't really go anywhere or have much of any effect. And out of possession, we were just our forward press was so bad. It was so. It's way too easy to break through, and that drags and forces the rest of the team out of shape. So I think that out of possession, we need to look at why we're set up the way we are and what problems are derived from that. And the fact is, last year, as much as I will have got onto the likes of Diaz and Nunes for what they were on the ball points, off the ball they were some of the better pressers in the entire Premier League. That's what they were, some of the better pressers in the entire Premier League. We've replaced them now with guys in Hugo, in Florian, and in Isak who vary from below average to average pressers. Partly because they haven't learned it properly yet, and you'd hope that they develop their pressing. Partly because they just don't have that same desire. So you need to figure out then how to adapt to your new changes. So if you pull up the tactics board now, I've just chucked together what I think the starting lineup has to be for our next game. And I'm not even going to do anything in possession at this point in time. We are just purely focusing on out of possession. So we'd set up something like this in out of possession. All that end up happening is Salah would jump here, Isak would go there, and the ball would go there. That would happen every single time because Salah jumps up on the left centre back, and the ball goes over the top, and then Frimpong or Szoboszlai or fucking whoever you want to put at right back is stuck between either staying with the winger or jumping up to the wing back. If he jumps up to the wing back, he has to get over. But if he's not over quick enough, what ends up happening is what you saw happen against Chelsea, where there's just all this open space here for this ball to go into, and we get picked apart. So in my eyes, your solution is something as simple as this. What you've got here is you've got your defenders who are all fine in what they do. Your four midfielders are all guys who you trust off the ball. They'll run hard, they'll work hard, they've got a bit of defensive acumen about them. And what you're effectively doing by putting these two up top together, bear in mind this is only if you're starting both Isak and Salah together. If you're starting Ekitike up top, it's a bit different because he's a better presser than what Isak is, so you can potentially go back to having Salah on the right and have him match up against the fullbacks all the time because you know Ekitike can do that run. But what you look at here is you've got these two here working the centre backs. So teams are waiting. Normally it's like that. They wait for Salah and then they attack that space. If I've got Szoboszlai there, they can't do that ball there because your best presser's there. If they go out there, they can't do it to Wirtz because Wirtz is a decent presser. And then you've got your two guys there matching up. The only and the main thing about doing this is that I'm understanding the limitations of my strikers. These two aren't pressers. They'll close angles, but they won't press. So what I'm doing is I'm setting us up with 8 very solid off-ball players and hoping that these two will combine to make a 9th one. And I'll just have to operate on 9v10 off
Didn't
ball.
we do this away at Palace, though, and got abused?
No, what we done away at Palace off ball was this.
Yeah, but we still got abused.
If anything, what we done against Palace was more so that off ball with Szoboszlai tasked with all that, and you're fucked. And the reason why it didn't necessarily work against Palace as well is because of their quality in wing backs and their ability to go direct and long. By putting these two here and understanding their limitations, but giving these two the license to be more aggressive, I'm effectively going 9v10, which is the best I can do in this situation. If you want to start Salah and Isak, the best you're going to get is 9v10 off ball because Isak and Salah will only ever combine to be one. They'll only ever combine to be one person out of possession. Salah's work rate and Isak's work rate will be one person out of possession. So the rest have to make up for that. I know Szoboszlai will run extra yards to make up for that. I know Wirtz will run extra yards to make up for that. I know my wing backs can run extra yards to make up for that. I know that in Jones, I've got a guy there who can run extra yards to make up for that. And what we're doing here is we are...
This on the counter-attack will get abused. I hope you know this. That's the problem. Counter-attack, this gets absolutely demolished.
That makes absolutely no sense, though, because this is how you set up...
Down the right-hand side and the left-hand side, we'd get cooked completely.
Not true at all. Not true at all.
Yeah, completely true. Because we did it away at Palace and didn't work at all.
Right, so when you look at Palace, how did Palace create all their chances against us?
Right wing back, left wing back?
No.
Most part, and as well with Mateta abusing Konate and a lot of passes down the middle as well.
There was no passes through the lines, though. What it was, I don't have the
long balls.
Exactly. So it could, Husam, we could have been set up in the most perfectly compact 4-2-3-1 type setup like this, where there's no space between the lines. If they try a pass there, or if they try a pass there, or if they try a pass there, they're fucked. But that wasn't how they were attacking. Palace just picked up the ball here and went all the way. We'll bypass 6 of your players. They're out the game. And we'll just have you matched up on your centre-backs. And the problem was they weren't winning their individual... Well, he was. He wasn't winning his individual duels in the first half, which meant that they're knocked down.
That's my problem with everything that Slot's been doing, which is he's asking every individual essentially to be perfect for us to win a game of football. That's the whole point.
He's not.
That's the biggest problem. That's the biggest problem with man-to-man. That's the biggest problem with Gravenberch pressing Enzo against Chelsea. That's the problem with all these moments. All these moments show me like, oh, you've got to be in the correct place in the correct time every single time, or we're gonna get screwed because the system now allows so much space in behind.
Not necessarily.
The Caicedo goal against us is a pathetic goal to concede. Yes, amazing finish, but it's a pathetic goal in terms of what we did defensively.
But that's down to us poorly executing man-to-man because of how broken our press was from the front. The problem with the Palace game, and the reason why I'm a lot less harsh on the Palace game compared to others, is because the Palace game, Arnie Slotter's not asking for a perfect performance from Ibrahim Konate. When I ask you what makes a good centre-back performance to Sam, what's the first thing you say? They win their duels. They win their battles. I'm not asking for Beckenbauer on the ball or fucking Pirlo from centre-back. I'm not asking for that. I'm asking for you to do your basics and win your duels. And when your defender doesn't win your duels, doesn't matter what tactic you've got, it's fucked. The whole high line thing, and we're too high up the pitch, look at the spacing behind. Liverpool left spacing behind ever since Virgil van Dijk signed for this football club. That's not ever going to change. There was space in behind us last season. But the difference was it wasn't getting found as often because Van Dijk and Konate were more consistently winning every duel. So when they're more consistently winning every duel, you're taking striker out the game. A lot of teams, because of how important the striker was, struggle then when the striker's taken out the game. The problem so far this year has been the strikers are able to get into the games by going onto Konate and winning some duels against them. Now, Konate in the second half against Palace won his duels, which is why for 30 minutes up until he went off the pitch, Liverpool boxed Palace in and they couldn't get anywhere because they're winning the duels. Ultimately, Husam, when you're the dominant team, you ask more of these players on an individual basis. You sit there and go, I'm going to trust you one-on-one in this individual basis.
You know, the last tactical show, people enjoyed it, but now you're just being edgy. Now you're completely being edgy.
I'm not being edgy.
You're being edgy because this, with Wirtz in here, we're going to get completely destroyed. Szoboszlai, I get it. He can handle the defensive work. But once again, you're asking for us to create a chance for Isak and Salah to have individual brilliance, basically. That's what we're asking for. Completely asking for individual brilliance.
Sam, you are complete. This is not me talking about what I would do in possession. This is purely me talking about out of possession. So when they have a goal kick, for example, or when they're trying to build out from the back, this is the shape I want. This is not what I want us to do when we win the ball back.
Can I show you my solution instead? And you'll see this is my solution. Let me show you my solution because my tactics board is still ready even from last night. Because I was cooking on the tactics board yesterday. This is my solution right here. This is the lineup I would go with against Man United, and this is my solution. I'm running back Atletico. I'm running it back again for the same exact thing that we did against Atletico. I run back, but instead of Gakpo, I just put Federico Chiesa. Other than that, I think this lineup is absolutely perfect to destroy Manchester United. Now, here's the thing. You spoke about something early on. You're like, oh, how did we get attacked against Crystal Palace? How did we get attacked against Crystal Palace? This is how we got attacked against Crystal Palace. I'm going to show you because I actually learned how to use these lines and everything. So how did we get attacked against Crystal Palace? Crystal Palace defender, you get me, gets the ball, pow. Crystal Palace gets the ball, pow. Crystal Palace defender gets the ball, pow. Just absolutely abused. And also at the same time, we cannot deny that the likes of Munoz were like down this side. The likes of Mitchell was down this side, and there was just so much space here. Why? Because we played the box midfield that you're actually saying we should play again.
I'm not saying we should play the box midfield in the way
you're not saying you should, but that's what you put on the pitch. Now here's another issue as well with the lineup that you're suggesting, which is another problem which I'm gonna speak about now. Here's the issue. What do Crystal Palace play?
3-4-2-1.
Great. What do Man United play?
3-4-2-1.
So yes, Glasner is a superior manager to Amorim. Yes, the Crystal Palace players, you could say, are better than the Manchester United players. But here's your issue. Everything, big up Mike, everything that you're talking about in this formation that you showed earlier on is the same exact mistakes we made against Crystal Palace.
It's not.
Okay, because here, this as well, Dallo would get in behind Florian Wirtz, Dorgo would get in behind Soboslai. What's the difference? There is no difference.
Okay, so the big difference here is that when you look at how they build up, so there's a big key philosophy when you're playing against the back three, Husam. You typically need to go 3v2. So when you're against the back four, you go 2v1. You have one striker of their two centre backs. When you're going against the back three, everything goes up by one. So you go 3 and 2. That's one of the big gripes I've got with your setup. Alexander Isak is going to do fuck all anyway without the ball. There, he's just running to get cardio in because he's never going to effectively press a back three just by himself. The other thing is you've got to look at the opponents and how they're going to build up. So I look at Manchester United. Manchester United lead the league in direct passes. They lead the league in direct passes. So I don't need to sit there and have him dropping into here to give me an overload in the midfield because you know what? They're going to try and play through the lines and they're going to feed it into the DM who's going to lay it off to the other one and then try and drag our centre mids out. No, their plan is very much like thingies, like Palace's. Get the ball to one of the centre backs, wait for the space to open up, lump it long to Benjamin Sesko. So again, we can do all the tactical talk we want. We can try and sit there and build the perfect system. But ultimately, we could devise the perfect system when their plan is going to be lump it long to the big man. If Konate isn't winning his duels, and if Van Dijk isn't winning his duels, it's utterly pointless. It's utterly pointless.
Your formation is all what ifs, though. My formation has nothing what if.
How is my one all what ifs? I'm asking us to play the exact same way.
Because when I do this right here, there is no what ifs. Everyone's role is absolutely obvious. I've got the double pivot, just like we did against Atletico. I've got the double pivot. I've got Wirtz in behind Isak, so Isak has his partner to combine with. I've got Frimpong on the overlap here, which will help.
We are arguing entirely different things here, Sam. You're arguing how Liverpool will beat Manchester United. I'm arguing how Liverpool will defend against Manchester United.
Okay.
I have no problem. I have no problem with that setup.
Defensively, this is even better defensively because when they attack like this, I've got Soboslai. When they attack like this, I've got Gravenberch over here, and on top of that, Federico Chiesa tracks back, and Wirtz tracks back in the middle. So now what?
So then pull back up my one. I could literally do the exact same thing, but the fact that
no, you can't because Florian Wirtz down the left-hand side is completely different to Florian Wirtz in the middle, where he should be playing.
That's how I want him to defend. Right, I'll show you how I want us to attack when we get the ball. When we get the ball, he comes inside, off the left, he goes up front, he goes back out wide, he pushes right up, he comes inside, he bombs up. And then he tucks in to form the back three. And what do you have? You've got your 3-1-6. But what you've got is you've got all the areas covered. So their double pivot, of Casemiro and Bruno, we're matching that up. And I'm also then giving us the opportunity, if we're able to sustain attacks, to push them up, or even have him stay back a little bit, push them up, and go man-to-man on their centre-backs. but out of possession, because I know that teams are now exploiting this man because he doesn't run. I need to put my best runner out there to stop that. And that involves him going there, him going there, him going there, and him tucking back there. And I have
You
two
don't
midfielders
solve
there.
our problem because Dalu and Dorgo would also abuse this on the counter attack. You just don't solve the problem at all. You just don't. Let me just bring Mike in before we just completely like start psychoanalyzing everything. Mike, what? First of all, hi. Second of all, your thoughts on the slot tactical approaches?
Listen, first and foremost, big up. Sorry I'm late, and I'm in a hotel room, so no comments on the pillows. To me, I hear what both of you are saying. I missed the beginning of the show. Where I'm just going to flat out disagree with both of you is I don't think that the formation has anything to do. I don't think changing a formation will help us defend more effectively or press more effectively, because I've seen us try to play in different formations this season, but the core principle that Arne Slot is trying to play by invites attack. It invites you to exploit the space that we leave. Our players aren't close enough to each other. If someone loses the ball, we can't press effectively because no one else is around the player who was just dispossessed. And ultimately, the more spread apart you are in possession, the less players I have protecting me, right? So I'm going to pull up a screenshot here, or if you want to just like share this, right? So if you look, right, this was when Konate lost the ball and Allison got injured, but just ignore that for a second. Ignore everything. I'm not even going to click play. This is the structure of this team right now. It's a 4-2-4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4. This is how we look in possession all the time. Even if Konate makes the pass to Gravenberch, who's backing up at this current moment, where is he supposed to go with the ball? Where is Gravenberch supposed to go with it? Wirtz is being man-marked. I can't tell who this is. He's being man-marked. And the four are all just up here chilling, smoking. They're all smoking shisha and relaxing, kicking back. They're all in the fucking jacuzzi. There's no football going on here. So no matter what, right? If this is the position that I see us in the most when we have possession, we're trying to push through, all it takes is one dispossession. And look at how easy it would be to carve us apart. To me, I think that formation is not the problem. It's the way we operate, and it's the fluidity in possession. It's the fact that we're so spread thin. It's the fact that the four at the top stay at the top the whole time. I think that in spells this season, we have played nice, tight football, compact football, 1-2s. We built triangles. We saw this against Madrid, and we saw this against Everton, right? Like we all sat here at halftime at both those games. And we were like, yo, we were cooking. Like the link up was great. The off ball movement was awesome. But then for some reason, for one reason or another, it all just goes away. And I think that this is the core reason why it goes away. This is what we default to. We default to a 4-2-4. And if you think about it like this, even if Galatasaray were the worst team on the planet, your midfield is outnumbered 2-6. Look, like literally, look on the screen. There's 2 players in the middle of the park, and there's 6 Galatasaray players. We constantly leave ourselves outnumbered, and this was the same problem I had last season. Like when we played Brighton and Mohamed Salah scored after we like immediately scored, Brighton were pressing the shit out of us that whole game. And this is the reason why it was working. It's because Arne Slot is believing in this 4-2-4, but other teams are noticing and they're realizing, hey, I don't have to press Konate. He'll just make a mistake. I don't have to press Virgil. Like, he'll just make a mistake. I don't have to press Mamadashvili. He'll just make a mistake. All I have to do is make sure that I have 1 or 2 more players than you in the midfield, because I know you're only going to have 2 there. So, you know, I think a lot of it just comes down to the base of the system, not that, like, we could sit here for 3 hours and we could talk about, what if Wirtz plays here, or what if Isak plays there? Like, it isn't really about that. It's the fact that whenever Wirtz gets the ball, he doesn't have options. Whenever Curtis Jones gets the ball, Ryan Gravenberch, Dominic Szoboszlai, you name the player. I have more screenshots. We can go through the whole Chelsea game. I found 6 or 7 moments where someone gets the ball in a dangerous position and there's 4 blue shirts around him. Like, you don't have to play good against that. If it's a 4v1 all day, Chelsea could look like the greatest fucking club in the history of the world, which, with no center backs, they did. They looked incredible against us because we make it so difficult. So I just think that we're on different wavelengths in terms of what the problem is. And I don't think that a simple formation shift is going to change anything, because ultimately we basically play we almost play like a 2-4-3-1 per se. Is that the right amount of players? 6, 4, 5? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's essentially what it looks like in build up, because there's only one guy who's dropping back with Virgil and Konate. I just went on a fucking rant.
It doesn't even get to the 2 though. Like I could somewhat understand if it got to a 2-4. It doesn't get to 2-4. It gets to 4-2, and then one of the fullbacks gives it away, or one of the centre backs gives it away.
But okay, so last season, I mean, bro, we could go on Husam's halftime shows, and we could probably find like 15 different games where I come on and I'm like, why is Dominic Szoboszlai not in midfield, and why is he with the front three? When we would do the 4-2-4 in possession, Szoboszlai would always be with the front four. And now Wirtz has seemed to have picked up that position. It's just that throughout the game, the individual in Wirtz decides, okay, you know what, I'm going to drop deeper and deeper because I need to get myself the
There
ball.
wasn't elements of that worked though, in a sense, because someone showed me this the other day. If you look at our top 4 progressive passes from last season, and they are the passes that matter most when you're building up, you need to get progressively through the lines into your forward players. Out of our top 4 progressive passes last year, in fact, no, name them. See if you can name me Liverpool's 4 top progressive passes last year.
I'm gonna guess it's Virgil. Virgil's probably the number 1.
Virgil's not even top 4.
Okay,
Trent.
so then who's it going to be? Trent,
Grav,
McAllister's not 1. Gravenberch isn't 1.
Curtis Jones.
Curtis Jones is 1.
Progressive passer. Luis Diaz.
No.
Mo.
No.
Dom. Obviously Szoboszlai.
No.
Andrew Robertson.
Robertson.
Wow. Konate.
Andy knows 4th, not Konate. Tsimikas.
Yeah. Okay, so
Tsimikas was 4th. It was Trent was 1st, Robertson was 2nd, Jones was 3rd, Tsimikas was 4th. All our progression came to our fullbacks last year. It'd go out through them, and they were technically sound enough to play up the line, through the line, into the areas where it could hit. We don't have that now.
Okay, so I will say the only thing in terms of Trent that I feel is missing is that, first and foremost, this whole myth about Mo not dropping back to defend. For the love of God, go watch any fucking season in the history of Mo being here. He doesn't drop back to defend. He drop backs to build up, right? Like I can literally show you in the preseason, he's at our own 18-yard box, and by the time the ball gets into the other half, he's now in the opposition half. The only thing Mo needs to be dropping for is to help with build up for the extra man. But I think the reason why he got so exposed against Chelsea is because Szoboszlai was playing right back, and Szoboszlai is not going to play that through ball that Trent would play 20 times a game, right? Because if Trent ever picked up the ball in that position, it was look to Mo and just send it. And then let's just hope Mo gets it. But even if he doesn't, we're already set. Sobo isn't that guy. Frimpong could maybe be that guy. Connor Bradley could maybe be that guy. I don't want them to be that guy though. I think that we're still playing like he's here, even though we don't even have a right back.
We're playing a system that requires your fullbacks to be really good progressive passers, and we're using fullbacks that can't progressive pass.
We're also inverting fullbacks that are there to overlap. Like, why the fuck is Kirkes ever inverting? Ever?
Mm-hmm.
Why is Frimpong also? Why the fuck isn't Frimpong playing? Like that really is like my whole biggest gripe. Frimpong's been excellent defensively. He was the only person who looked like he even wanted to attack against Galatasaray, albeit he wasn't playing right back. But like, it's just there's so many different elements that Arne Slot is making it more difficult for himself, and I don't feel like it has to be, because I don't think that the solution is rocket science. Like it isn't. It just isn't.
But this is where we get to the inevitable: how do we change our build-up debate? Because as you've rightly pointed out, Liverpool are playing a system right now, which when you look at the stat, we're playing a very similar way to how we did last year. But the difference between this year and last year is we're not using any of our top 4 progressive passes. So the team are trying to play a system that needs progressive passes in certain areas and do not have any of those players in those areas. So it's going out there. The players are doing the subconscious thing, the what they've been trained to do. We'll do this pattern, get it out to there. It's got out to there. Fuck, you can't do anything with it.
But Tom, the reason why it's not working, to me, it doesn't matter who the passer is. It's because we're so spread out. Here, look, I'm going to full screen this, and I'm only on one screen. So Husam, let me know when you have this up, because I'm going to show you. This is this season. This is in preseason. This is us building up out of our own back.
You want me to bring it up now?
Yeah. I'm full screened. Let me know if you guys see it, because I can't see it.
Yeah, we see it.
Okay. This is us against Bilbao.
So just
yeah. I'm just going to drag it. I'll even mute it. This is us building up out of the back against Bilbao, and this is our whole starting 11. So I don't want to hear any bullshit about this being preseason. This is Konate. I heard that Konate is a terrible ball playing center back, right? I know he's just so bad. This team is just incapable because we need Gehi, right? Gehi is the guy. And then look who's here. Oh my God, it's Mo. Is that our own 18-yard box? And is that Konate? Dude, he's so bad. He can't play football. Look at how terrible he is. Look at how terrible he is. And then boom, right here, I want you to notice one thing. That's Mohamed Salah. All of a sudden, we have an overload. All of a sudden, we have space. This pattern of play right here is something that I have not seen once. Now, this wasn't a goal, but
it should have been a goal.
Yeah, and it 100% should have been. But this is what I mean. That pattern of play, I'm not seeing that. You can exit out of this. I'll go back to there. But I'm not seeing that kind of play. I'm not seeing the team.
But if you go back to that move for that goal and you look at who was involved in it, my gripe with Konate is I know he's a solid passer. He'll do a job, but ask him to do an awful lot because the fullbacks can't do it. The build up for that first goal, when does the fullback get on the ball? In an area where he's got open space to drive.
Yeah, Kirkus.
Because that's what the fullback we bought. That's the type of fullback that we bought.
But also, guess what? Cody Gakpo didn't ignore him. Cody Gakpo's been ignoring him all season, and for some reason, in that one instance, Cody Gakpo actually played the overlapping pass. I think that right now, what Arne Slot needs to do.
If you can get it back up again.
My bad.
I do wonder why. So if you just pull back up to the moment where Gakpo plays the pass, I just want to see if it's because the guy follows him. So this 37 here, does 37 stick with Gakpo or follow the overlap?
No, he sticks with Gakpo.
He sticks with him. So my thing with Gakpo, right there. And this is the one thing that I do think people are being slightly harsh on him about. When Gakpo has the overlap from Kirkes, he makes his decision based on what the defender does. So a lot of Premier League defenders
They're going wide.
They go with the overlap. There's no point in Gakpo passing it to the overlap if it's going to be blocked anyway. So Gakpo lets the tracker go with him. Another one will jump onto Gakpo, but there's half-yard space for him to work with at that point, which is better than passing it to Kirkes in a dodgy spot.
This is the other element I want to highlight. Look,
there's the right back. The right back's not even involved in the move.
Just 1 second. So there's 5 Bilbao players, 6, 7 Bilbao players in our half, right? We get into theirs. Let's just say, for instance, Cody Gakpo has a stinker here, heavy touch. It goes back to the opposing team. There's only 5 red shirts in the other side of the field. That solves your whole transition problem right there. Because you were able to move so quickly, you're not exposed, and the ball's already on the other end of the pitch. To me,
he does need to deal with the midfielders pushing so high up.
Yeah. But again, I haven't seen us break out of a press once like this. Against Chelsea, it was Mamardashvili passing it out of bounds every time, or it was Virgil van Dijk. I'm going to exit out now. Or it was Virgil van Dijk passing it out of bounds. To me, that's the problem. That is the main issue. It's that we're not able to we're not able to build up out of a press. Therefore, we're super spread out. Therefore, when we lose the ball, we look super exposed. This isn't rocket science. We looked so good last year because in the first half of the season, we played really compact, tight football. And if someone lost the ball, there was 6 guys to turn around and run back. Now, we don't play tight, compact football. We play the 4-2-4. And if someone loses it, you're already outnumbered in midfield. Depending on who the left back is, he might not have legs. And depending on who the right back is, he might not actually be a right back. So, we're putting ourselves in positions to fail week in, week out. And I don't think that it's like, to me, I just find it crazy that someone who lives in California and is an American and is just a stupid Yank could sit here and look through film for 20 minutes and just discover these basic fundamental errors that we have in terms of our system. But yet Arne Slot is continuing to do the same thing over and over, no matter who our opponent is. And it's like, it's driving me. I've streamed 3 times in the last week. I think I've streamed like once in my life before that. It's literally driving me insane.
You did one FIFA stream, and for the last week you've streamed 3 times. Big up to Vindaloo, who says the first Liverpool fan on YouTube who got it right, Tom, and I never agree with him. Here's the thing: you say he got it right, but I actually think Tom has probably had the worst suggestion out of us all. First of all, guys, we have 400 people watching. I know you guys enjoyed watching.
What was the suggestion?
My suggestion was out.
Can I just big up Vindaloo? Can I just big up, I'm just responding to this.
Big up Vindaloo. Big up Vindaloo.
Big up Vindaloo. Guys, like and subscribe. We have 400 people in here. We're not even at 200 likes yet. Come on. I know you guys enjoyed this last time, so I ran it back. You get me? We're bringing out the tactics board and everything. So like the video right now, please. Subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Thank you, Vindaloo. Here's Tom's suggestion is basically what we did away at Palace, but a different version of it.
It's not.
I just said, but a different version of it. See?
So my suggestion is out of possession. These two are our worst pressers. So instead of having them in a position where he's here, and then he just goes there, he's somewhere here, like he's just trying to sort that out. He's trying to close that down, and then it just goes to there or there, and it's over the top, and then all of a sudden they're in a 3-on-2.
Okay.
My suggestion is to put Szoboszlai out there, have Salah there, have my 2 worst pressers pressing against the back line. But what it means is that they're then forced to pass into an area where neither guy is necessarily great under pressure, rather than passing it over the top to an area where the guys can get on the ball and start driving, which is their strength. Because they try and play that there. I've got 2 guys who can keep up with them and harry them and force them backwards into areas where the more dangerous attackers are sitting and waiting. It's not something that Liverpool should be doing constantly. It's pure. I'm doing it purely on the basis of these 2 are crap and receiving the ball under pressure.
My only thing is, I don't. Okay, if the opposing team is having a spell of possession, right?
Thank you.
There's never been a time where I have seen any team that presses the way that we pressed back then, and that's not a one-to-one comparison. Like the Klopp press, the main principle of it was that we were so compact in the way that we defended that, let's say we had possession, we went up the field, we lost the ball. That's where the press comes from. The press comes from us losing possession in the opposing half, and we suffocate them. That's totally different than what you're describing here. What you're describing here would be like, what's our possession when, what's our shape when they have possession of the ball, they're passing it around.
We're not a pressing team like that now. I only thought them wants to be there, so I just got to work with what the manager wants us to be.
No. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is that I think that by compressing yourself in possession, you automatically make yourself that way. It doesn't matter what Arne Slot wants. If players are closer to each other in possession and someone loses the ball, there's more people around to suffocate who now has the ball, just by proxy of you being closer to each other. I know that Arne Slot isn't like this isn't Gegenpress 101. This isn't 2018. But let's say like we had the ball in this scenario, and let's say Szoboszlai has it, Salah's a little closer to him, Gravenberch is a little closer to him, Curtis Jones is a little closer to him, Isak's a little closer to him.
So they're sort of like Salah's
exactly
there,
right.
Isak's gone there,
right, and then
Frimpong's probably getting ready to make that overlapping run.
Yeah, right. If you lost the ball in this position, it doesn't even matter if it's man for man, it's equal, right? Like I have guys that can suffocate, I have guys who can put pressure, right? That's where the press is born. The press is born from your offensive shape. Everything that happens in a game comes from the way you look in possession. Teams that get shredded on transition, like Manchester City, are teams that play super wide out in possession. That's just what they do. That's what we look like right now. That's why we look so terrible in transition. But, I mean, again, I don't know if it's about, running a 4-4-2. I think that we'll just see the same problems. I think that guys will be walking, guys will be dragging their feet, guys will be waiting for the game to come to them. And that's just not something that I ever saw for 8 straight years. I never saw players who wait for it to come to them.
This is the difference in philosophy, though, isn't it? And it's what we now have to work under. So Jurgen Klopp wanted us to lose the ball because he felt that was the best way of. I think he said a good gegenpress is better than having the best number 10 in the world in terms of creating chances. This manager sees things very differently. So, and neither is right or wrong. Let's be completely honest. Neither is right or wrong. Both philosophies, either pressing high up or being more settled in a mid-block, both can work. The thing with us is Jurgen Klopp's press he had a lot more pressing triggers. So there's one that stands out in my mind. We didn't even defend it well. Palace went and scored off it. But we had a pressing trigger on their right back and their DM. So if their right back took a bad touch or their DM took a bad touch, we were to swarm them. It was in 18-19 in the game. We won 4-3. And it's their first goal. They play a ball into the right back and he takes a bad touch. Suddenly Mane jumps, Firmino jumps, I think Keita jumps, and we swarm the right back and he gets the pass through to the DM, who then also takes a heavy touch, at which point Henderson jumps, Salah's come over, Firmino's jumping again, Keita's jumping again, and they play out. And because everyone sort of jumped on that area, but it was so aggressive that if we'd won it, it would have been a 5-on-2, 5-on-3.
Yeah, but I would rather live and die by that sword because I scored 97 fucking points doing this kind of football. To me,
but then in the same breath, Arnie started to sit there and go, "We won the league title last year by not doing that."
Yeah, but if we want to do revisionism, we can go back and we can look at every single game and we can say, okay, shit performance, shit result, but also Arsenal, shit performance, shit result. I don't want to be a revisionist. I don't want to go back and put everything into context. At the end of the day, like there was the team before January and there was the team after. The points, they don't matter. You could even make the argument that teams respected us a lot more last season. So they weren't going out there. I mean, basically Crystal Palace said, fuck you. You're not good enough on the ball. And I know that you're going to make a mistake. So this is the way I'm going to set up. And they killed us for it. Chelsea, same exact thing. They said, I know that I don't have to do much. I know as long as I pack the lanes. I mean, here, while I'm going through this, I'm gonna bring this up.
Can I just say my problem as well with Tom's one? This is my issue with this formation. First of all, playing out from the back is going to be a problem. Number one. Okay, number two,
I'll let you finish, then I'll explain. How
number two, creating a chance is going to be a problem in this formation. Number three, every time Salah gets the ball or Isak gets the ball, their options are limited. What's going to happen in this is Isak is going to have to drop deep to collect the ball or move all the way to left wing. And the other problem is down the right-hand side, you know how the right centre-back and the left centre-back in certain occasions will press forward as well. Down the left-hand side and down the right-hand side, even with Verts Karkas and Soboslai Frimpong over there, we are leaving ourselves susceptible to counterattacks when we are in offensive situations.
So the difference is this is not how I don't want the game to basically just go like this. Hold on. I don't want the game to effectively just be this, where every outfielder is going forwards and backwards in this setup.
This is
when we have the ball, I want us to set up more akin to something like this, where we have the numerical advantage against their high press. So their three can either jump on our back three and leave Gravenberch free and complete in the middle and force one of them two to jump, which will in turn leaves the space there. I'd have my fullback sitting higher up. I'd have my wide fielders tucking in more narrow. I'd have Salah starting to drift back out wide to get one-on-one with Luke Shaw. And what I'd effectively have here is... So it'd be more akin to something like this.
This is kind of how we play. Like, it
is, but it's a lot more compact, and I'm getting these fullbacks. So what we do now is they stay there. They stay there.
Yeah.
I'm getting them out the danger zone, where if they lose the ball, we're fucked. And I'm putting a guy in there who is a lot more comfortable. And what it is now is we can draw out the press a lot more effectively, because Konate, despite being a limited progressive passer in this area, where it's about breaking down a defence, when it's about passing around the press, for the most part, he can do that pass, or he can do that pass. Or even in the case where Soboslai just drops off Fernandez here, he can do that pass. And then what it is, the fullbacks then, I'm still trying to get him one-on-one. He is still my danger. I do not care what anyone says. He is still the guy I'm wanting to get the ball to in this game. The fullbacks either jump up on to Kerkez and Frimpong to try and limit them, which then just leaves all the space here for guys who can drift, pick up the ball and carry. Or they drop back to deal with these guys, which just leaves all the space in the world for your wing backs to get on the ball and operate. And these two can't do anything about it because they've got to pick up your 10s. They have to pick up your 10s.
I think
So once again, you're asking every player to basically be perfect one-on-one defensively the whole game.
I think listen.
The problem with your formation against Man United is it allows no room for error. One guy makes a mistake and we are absolutely royally fucked over here. Completely. One mistake and we're...
So what if Konate passed it to Cunha before 100% we're fucked because that's what happened.
No, I'm not talking about Konate passing it to Cunha.
Okay,
I'm
so
talking
where
about
do we
Gravenberch is a second too late covering or Soboslai is a second too late covering. It's immediately a 2-on-1.
Give me a scenario, Husam. Give me a scenario.
I just gave you a scenario. The problem is, first of all, it's susceptible to long ball. Second of all, the other issue is if Kerkez, Frimpong, Soboslai, or Wirtz are a second, just 1 second late covering, it's immediately a 2-1v1 situation. And now it's panic.
How is it an automatic 1v1? Because I've got 3 guys here. If this ball is given away here,
we don't have to reinvent the wheel.
And all of a sudden, we've got 5 on 3.
We don't have to reinvent the wheel. I think that
I'm wrong. 6 on 3.
It doesn't.
Okay, can I show you my one? Let me just show Mike my one. He's the third person over here. I put up the Man United players on the board. This is my team, right? The black circles are Man United. I don't know who made this. Who made this circle? Here we go. This is my formation against Man United. In my honest opinion, here, offensively against this side, I give myself so many options to exploit them. I mean, just play Wirtz with Isak, Frimpong right back, Soboslai, Gravenberch double pivot. By the way, you want to drop Soboslai, no problem for Curtis Jones. I'm not even going to argue that. But this is what I'd go for. This allows us to abuse Man United right here. Literally abuse them.
I mean, when I did my show, 2 times, I ended it with the lineup. That's the same lineup, right?
Thank you.
Here, to me, we can do all of this, complicated tactical breakdown. At the end of the day, my issue is very simple. We need an extra man in midfield when building up. It's that simple. Like it doesn't matter if it's Curtis Jones or if it's Florian Wirtz. Right now, we're trying to build centrally. Here, I'm gonna pull something up to sort of like try to back up my point here.
Tell me when you want me to share.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Right now, we're constantly trying to build centrally, right? In this position, like obviously, listen, take this with a grain of salt. This is a freeze frame, and this is just like a compilation of Florian Wirtz's touches. But I was looking at the structure of how the team was set up when he was touching the ball. Regardless, this is a zero-sum scenario. This is Liverpool right now in possession. There's someone there, right? Those are red boots. That's one of us. That's Mohamed Salah. That's Alexander Isak.
Is that not Salah right at the top, and that's Soboslai?
Yeah, my bad. Sorry. Soboslai, Salah. But regardless, I understand that this is like a very simple 1-2, but just look at the way that Chelsea are set up right now. They don't have, this isn't rocket science for them. It's Curtis Jones is tying his shoe. McAllister and Florian Wirtz are playing, keep away with each other with 3 blues around them. There's only 2 options here. McAllister gets the ball, goes to Robbo kicks it back, or Wirtz kicks it all the way back, and we try to do this all over again because we have some.
Then the center backs pass to each other 20 times in a row.
We have some obsession with building up. Again, look here. I know that this is just a throw-in, but again, what are we supposed to do? Like, look at this. I see 1, 2, 3 Chelsea players in the middle with no one there because Isak took the throw-in, which is perfectly fine. But it doesn't even matter. Why is Isak the one taking this throw-in? Let's continue. Even here, when Curtis Jones plays it into a progressive position that we would call, look at the positioning of the team. There's literally a box around Florian Wirtz. There's a box.
No insult, but this would happen again with your formation. Same exact thing.
It's a box.
It wouldn't.
But okay, my big thing right now, hold on. There's also there's one more that I'm going to show you.
Careful.
My bad here. There's one more I'm going to show you guys where Florian Wirtz, and everyone was saying that Florian, it's this right here. Everyone was ripping on Florian Wirtz for his touch. I want you to ask yourself real quick. He's offside. He's out. He's wide. Mo and Curtis Jones are playing rock, paper, scissors, and Ekitike is taking a nap. What is Florian Wirtz supposed to do here? Right? Especially since the second he takes a touch, there's 5 blue jerseys crashing on him. This is the kind of positions that we find ourselves in when we actually get to the opposing box, right? When it's like a counter and we get there, we leave one person isolated and everyone else is standing flat-footed. I just think that if you add the extra man and build up and you stop obsessing over going through the middle, you solve so many problems. If we build up down the left-hand side and you just leave Mo out there to be the switch, or you build up down the right-hand side and you leave Cody Gakpo to be out there for the switch. Number one, you have more options to build up through. Number two, if I lose the ball, I have more options to suffocate it. And even if you get the ball and you switch it to your own fullback, well, guess what? Half your fucking team is on this side of the pitch. So that guy has to make a 1v1 play of absolute heroism. And, you know, if he cooks my guy and he kills us, whatever. Like, if that all kind of makes sense. I just think that
it makes sense. That's why what I just brought up as well with Tom. The issue is here's the problem, bro. Like, build up play against Man United would be a disaster with that box midfield in theory. It would be a disaster. You get me? Because you have to the problem is I don't want to be in a position where I ask my team for perfection. I want to be in a position where we have a solid system and a style. No, because here's the problem is you're making it basic. You're saying, oh my God, what if Konate passes to Cunha? I'm not saying what if Konate passes to Cunha. I'm saying, what if they're attacking down the left-hand side with Dorgu? Okay. So they're attacking our right. They're attacking our right with Dorgu. If Soboslai is just 2 seconds late in a recovery, because guess what? Maybe Soboslai is on the attack. So let's say Soboslai was the one leading the attack just now. So let's say put Soboslai high up the pitch. Put Soboslai high up the pitch. So Soboslai was the one.
There, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Soboslai is high up the pitch leading an attack.
Yeah.
If Dorgu and Cunha combine down the right-hand side, it's an immediate 2-on-1 opportunity.
How is it? Because he goes there, he steps back up, he's back there.
Oh,
and he's tracked back with him.
Now you're being completely disingenuous because Karkas won't be there.
Why would
in
Karkas
offensive
not be there?
situations, Karkas is going to be so much higher.
Why would he be up there if the ball's on the other side of the fucking pitch? I'm not saying
that much. See, now you did it too much.
No, because are you saying he's going to be there?
Okay, yeah, and Wirtz would be more down the middle. Like
he's not going to be there.
You're acting like Wirtz, touchline winger. He's not. He's going to cut into midfield.
Karkas is not going to be up there if the ball is on this side of the pitch. What advantage is there to being up there if the ball's on this side of the pitch? There's none. He is going to be back there until the ball goes there, at which point he'll push further on. He won't be up there until the ball is in that side of the pitch.
Do any of us rate Bruno Fernandes? Do any of us rate Bruno Fernandes that highly? No. One thing Bruno is capable of, is he or is he not capable of long pass grenade launches into space? Yes or no?
Yeah.
That's one thing. Guess what? He might attempt 10 of them against us and even 4 work out. If 4 work out of the 10 or 3 work out of the 10, counterattack. Okay,
but we can't rely on.
You are arguing about me as if I'm saying I want us to defend with Curtis Jones at centre back. I don't. I want us to defend like this.
Yeah,
like this. It doesn't matter.
In possession.
It doesn't
matter.
That's
idealistic because when you lose the ball, it will never be like this ever.
Sam, teams can transition. So when we're attacking, we're like this. In 5 seconds, where everyone's running, we can be like that. Because all I have to do...
knowing Slot's style, why are Gravenberch and Jones so deep? See, now you're lying to yourself. And that's where Mike's point comes in.
Jones is deep because he was at fucking centre-back.
That's the problem with your logic. That's the problem with your argument. Mike pointed it out to you already. The issue is you're putting Jones and Gravenberch so far behind that it's just so unrealistic. You know, if Soboslai is on the ball and he's attacking, Gravenberch and Jones are going to be further up the pitch. And that's been the issue the whole time.
Oh my God, am I arguing with the fucking wall? Curtis Jones won't be there because he's playing centre-back in build-up.
Back up. Tom displayed 2 different formations, right? or formation that we would build up in, i.e., we have sustained possession, just like we always see in games, and in a formation in which we would be the one not having the possession, because like all football games, there's spells, right? Manchester United will pass it around the back, we'll pass it around the back. To me, I don't think that ultimately, sorry, I just completely lost my my train of thought there. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter about whether it's a 4-4-2 or a 3-5-2 or whatever the numbers are. What matters is you're not leaving yourself short in the middle of the park, whether it's offensive or defensive. We could go back and forth on all of these different intangibles. We could talk about, what if Soboslai gives it away and Frimpong's slow to come back? Whatever. These things happen in games. But the only way to mitigate mistakes is to make sure that you're not numerically at a disadvantage. And right now, in the places where we lose the ball in possession, we are consistently putting ourselves at a numeric disadvantage. You just have to figure out how to solve that. I don't know if the solution is formation. I don't know if the solution is instruction. I'm not the one who's getting paid £5 million a year to coach this team. All I know is that what I've seen so far this season consistently has not worked, because regardless of what the good spells are in games, there's at least 60 other minutes in every game where I can point to and I can say, well, it wasn't there. Like in these 45 minutes, we were great, but in these 45 minutes, we were completely dreadful. We were dog shit. Whether you want to flip it and say we started great and finished poor, or we started poor and finished great, it's the same thing every time. And I think that the root cause is the fact that you're constantly putting the midfield into a two-man. You're constantly asking two guys to own. Yeah, but that's what he's not doing, right? Mm-hmm. And the only time that a third man shows up is to come shake hands with Mamardashvili and say, "Hey, my turn." You know what I mean? Like Florian Wirtz drops all the way back in the 88th fucking minute. I gotta sit here for 10 fucking minutes when we need a goal, and I gotta watch Florian Wirtz pick up the ball from Mamardashvili to feet. You kidding me? All because you consistently leave yourself disadvantaged. Like, I don't know if Slot thinks that these players are just all fucking world-class technical gods. I don't know if McAllister being so out of form is, seriously hurting his plan. That doesn't
help, definitely, but it should never be that bad, ever.
Yeah, exactly. But you like, people talk about our defense. I'm like, we don't have a bad defense. Right? If a team has sustained possession against us and they're attacking us, we don't give away a lot of opportunities. We get killed when we lose the ball stupidly. Every single fucking goal this season, every goal this season has been either a set piece that was a direct result of that example, or a direct result of that example. Newcastle, they were set pieces as a direct result of that example. Crystal Palace, the game-winning goal was a literal result of Curtis Jones putting the ball out of play, which then led to the spell of play of Kirkes having to clear the ball out of play, which then led to the long throw set piece. To me, it's just, bro, 4 in the midfield. I don't care. Like, I don't give a shit. If Cody Gakpo has to drop and fucking play midfield for a little bit, it's fine. Leave Mo and leave Isak up there, but stop leaving yourself at a disadvantage, because we clearly have proven that, listen, Gravenberch can make a turn. But are you really going to sit here and say that Ryan Gravenberch needs to do that for 90 minutes? That's what this system is relying on? Gravenberch getting the ball on the right-hand side of the pitch, making a turn and driving into space? Like, that's it? Like, that's your holy trinity? That's your infinity stone? That's your Thanos snap? It's just, it's not consistent and it's not reliable. And
here's the thing, in defensive situations, the reason why me and Mike agree on the team, let me just point it out to you, Tom. In the formation that me and Mike are playing, which is the same exact lineup, same exact formation, I'm not asking Liverpool Football Club to be perfect. Meaning, even if Jones makes a mistake, it's okay. Because what Mike pointed out in the 3 in midfield, so we're talking about Florian Wirtz, right? Florian Wirtz is going to occupy this space right here. Which United players are here? Bruno Casemiro. So immediately, I'm in a better position because I'm pressing their 2 DMs. Their 2 DMs are not just sat there watching, because I've got Wirtz over here and 2 midfielders. So Wirtz in this position would be closer to Isak, and at the same time, he'll be able to press both DMs. Now, if we get attacked down the right-hand side, so let's say we get attacked, like the example I told you, right? So let's say we get attacked down the khals, forget all the drawing. We get attacked down the right-hand side. Now, it would be traditionally what all teams do, right? Which is, if I'm getting attacked in this area right here, I've got Konate, I've got Frimpong, I've got Jones shifting, or if you want to play Subslide, don't give a fuck, let's put Jones here so people don't cry. Subslide is now shifting. Now, this shift, the difference in this shift is it does not allow all the space and donut hole over here. This donut hole is removed. Why? Because this shift, this is it. This is all I've got to do now. It's just traditional, way more traditional ways of defending that make sense.
Okay, but then in a back three, their wing backs have a lot more license to push forward. So if you go back to that shape, you've left number 7 entirely isolated. So where Soboslai's drifted over, Kanate's
hold
over.
on. Tom, hold on. I know exactly what you're going to say.
I'm just saying, if you're that worried about long balls from this team, you don't want to be giving them opportunities to switch the play constantly.
So you're saying long ball from here to here? I live with that all day.
No, I'm saying that you're saying that. So six has won the ball back or whatever, and it's you've got the 3-on-2 there, and then Van Dijk's drifted over, Gravenberch's drifted over, Kerk has moved on to 8,
it's just shifting
Mbeumo. So Kerk is on to Mbeumo, which is 8. If that gets to Fernandez, who's number 4, we're getting Bruno Fernandez grenade launcher in the space behind Kerkez, where he's left 2-on-1.
Okay, but here's the
8
thing.
will be on 6.
He's not left 2-on-1.
He's never alone. Why? Federico or Gakpo, whoever you want. He's not alone.
So you got more faith in Federico Chiesa defensively than me. Okay, that's where we differ.
Tom. Okay, here's my thought on this. Right, I've seen us get ripped apart through the middle. I've seen teams transition against us, ball to floor, simple 1-2s. Right. Mm-hmm. I know that I've been getting sliced like fucking Swiss cheese with basic ass football. To me, right, I would rather stop with the middle. Either pick the right channel or the left channel, build up. You lose the ball, like let's say Salah had the ball, he lost it here. This is how everyone was on the
play. Yeah, he lost the ball here. Bruno gets it.
It doesn't even matter. You're requiring Bruno Fernandes to consistently play a ball over the top that will leave, regardless of whether or not it's a one-on-one with Kerkez. And let's just say Kerkez doesn't bite and Kerkez lets him go down the wing. Think about the whole shape of everyone below Kerkez on this thing.
Thank you. That's my point.
All of those guys have the time to track back, and we already have 5 in our own half. Like at the end of the day, if I get beat because Bruno Fernandes plays an insanely world-class pass to a wing back who beats Kerkez, gets in the box, plays a perfect ball to an unmarked runner, listen, it is what it is. But I would rather put myself at this point in like the statistical probability of what's the least way I'm going to give up a dangerous chance consistently, and it's that compared to
and let's say actually exactly Tom's question, right? So Salah lose the ball here. Okay, Dorgo will probably be on him, and like whoever the hell is here doesn't matter.
Typically, United's left centre back will be on Salah, and they try.
Luke Shaw doesn't matter. Whoever is pressing him, right? So Salah gets the ball here. Salah has been shit, dropping, blah blah. He loses the ball. Bruno now gets the ball over here. Now, because of the way that I've set up, number 1, Wirtz will be at least in a similar area. So this is the positions I'm looking at Wirtz to occupy. These areas right here. So at least Wirtz will be in the fucking vicinity. So Wirtz can at least apply some pressure to Bruno. Now Bruno is very good player, blah, blah, blah. So I'll probably be a little bit up here. Now he plays the pass in behind. Guess what? I've got Frimpong to run back. I've got Soboslai. And now even if Cunha gets the ball here and he can play a long pass or whatever it is, right? He can play a long pass. Oh my God. Just imagine Rio's Soboslai. And he plays a long pass forward, right? Even then, even if the long pass is to be able to be played forward, Federico Chiesa and Kerkez are there defensively. Now, the only one we all agree doesn't defend is Salah. But playing this lineup with Soboslai in there will limit that. It will limit because now, guess what? I'm not asking my team to be perfect. I'm just asking Soboslai track back. Frimpong is there. Gravenberch shifts. Van Dijk shifts. The team shifts like this. Now, United's option are switch play or take it back and try to recycle the ball.
Okay, that's wonderfully idealistic. Except that in that whole build-up thing, number 6, Patrick Dorgu, would have pushed on beyond Salah, and then Soboslai and Frimpong would be in a 2-on-2 with Dorgu and Cunha. So
2-on-2, never 2-on-1.
My gripe with this is that it'd be wonderful to have Wirtz pressing the pivots, but that isn't how it works. Wirtz would be up alongside Isak when we don't have the ball, because Wirtz is the other one doing the pressing alongside him, alongside Isak. So Arne Slot doesn't press to win the ball. Arne Slot presses to close passing lanes and force the ball into areas where he wants us to win it back, in a sense. So that's why Wirtz wouldn't be on the DMs. He would be in the area between them. My other thing is, I feel like you're asking, if you're in your case, you're asking Soboslai to effectively be a right winger and a central midfielder at the same time, because we understand that Salah's not going to be doing anything. In that same breath, you're isolating Gravenberch in the midfield. Because
I'm not isolating Gravenberch. I'm not isolating Gravenberch.
No, because of Sam. Let's just move Dorgu up the pitch, because he wouldn't be there with Salah, and then put Cunha in between Canate and Frimpong, just in that area there. Not maybe a little bit further behind the 9. Yeah. Patrick Dorgu now is in copious amounts of space, because Salah's lost the ball. Luke Shaw won the ball off. It went to Bruno. So Soboslai goes over. Dorgu's still in copious amounts of space. So are we going Frimpong's pushing up onto Dorgu? Or is it Soboslai?
No, we're not. No, we're not. I'm okay with the left wing back running to here. I'm okay with the right wing back running to here. My problem is the long balls.
Oh, okay. So the left wing back runs are there. Brilliant.
Yeah.
No, well, I mean, we're also.
What are we doing at this point, though? Are we just
okay? What are we doing? Soboslai is here to help out Frimpong, because we know Salah doesn't track back. So Soboslai is here to help Frimpong. Gravenberch shifts, and Wirtz is tracking back. Who said Wirtz doesn't track back? Wirtz will track back, and now I've got 3 midfielders. That's it.
I mean, we're also not taking. We're not taking
because
into
Mike
consideration.
pointed this out, and it's true. The problem is, I'm basically asking 2 midfielders to dominate every single game, bro, and it doesn't work.
I mean, we're not taking into consideration what United's defensive shape would be against us, which I think
their wing backs would be deep. I would argue there's a world where he plays Mount and plays a 5-3-2.
Yeah, listen, that's very possible. But at the end of the day, I think that we could sit here and we could talk about what does our defensive shape look like. You know, if we lose the ball up the pitch. To me, it's just, if your shape is better in possession and you're more compact, you offset a lot of these things. Like, players are going to get the opportunity to beat you. It happens every game. It happens against fucking Sunderland. It'll happen against Sunderland. It happened last year against super weak teams. To me, with the way that we're playing right now, I think that you have to make them beat you, because we're beating ourselves. So ultimately, simplify the game. Force Dorgu. Listen, Dorgu, you want to drive into space? All good. Where are you going to go with the ball? You're driving at 5 guys, and I have these passing lanes covered. Sure, by all means, run these extra 20 yards, then turn around, then play your little switch. Cool, that's fine. You've just given us the time to all get back into shape, and I know that when we're in shape, we're fine. I think that we're really neglecting the fact that our in possession shape is making this whole perception of one ball in and we're done amplified. Because when you lose the ball up the pitch and everyone's spread out and teams like Chelsea, they're just throwing a ball to Garnacho and Garnacho's cooking Dominic Soboslai or whoever it is. That's only because you're just consistently doing a one-on-one, because there's no one else on the pitch. There's no one else there. The whole structure's gone.
That's why, though. That's why with my one, I'm the thing I won't let go of this season is we need a back 3 when we build up. You need to drag one of your midfielders into that back 3. So even if you lose the ball higher up the pitch, you've got 3 options there. Because at times we're losing the ball high up the pitch, and because
if you do that, though, I would agree if Mohamed Salah was not in the team. I would sit here and I would say I would agree. The issue is I don't want Isak dropping below the midway line ever. Right? I bought you to bag me goals. I bought you to be shoulder to shoulder.
I don't want him to press and defend. I don't give a shit about him pressing.
Mohamed Salah, we can't do that leaving two guys up top. So either Mo needs to be dropped and Isak is playing, or Isak needs to be dropped and Mo is playing. I know that Ekitike will drop deep because he just naturally likes to do that. I've even seen him track back and defend. So it's not an issue with Ekitike, because I think that him on his own, like, he wants to track back. He's sort of proved it. But if you're going to drop a midfielder into the back line, then someone from the front three has to drop into the midfield. You cannot lose the numerical advantage.
But then, in a sense, that's why I'm not playing a front three, because I've still got that numerical advantage then. So again, if we come back to my setup here, and I go back to what
and you want to know, like, Tom, just before I'm going to bring up your setup, you want to know as well what kind of proves like Mike's point is the fact that, Indy Kyla, fair enough. You could say like, oh my God, Indy Kyla this, Indy Kyla that. Indy Kyla again today links us with Michael Olise. It is, if we're going to sit here and act like we're going to buy Michael Olise to play right mid and we play a diamond midfield, then we're just crazy. We're completely crazy.
You're better off setting this up as like a 4-5-1. If you want
exactly.
if you want to drop a midfielder into the back line to be an extra man centrally, then you might as well just go 4-5-1 and just say, you know what, fuck it, or just do a hybrid 4-4-1-1 and just make sure that there's
a 4-5-1 is basically just a 4-3-2,
I mean,
you want to know what would make your formation work? Drop Isak, put Ekitike.
I mean, that can work.
Drop Verts and put one of Chiesa or Gakpo.
Because then you're just asking me to do nothing about what my system's designed for. Because you know what you're saying? You're saying, right, we'll put a winger out there. I put the winger out there. He's forced to go in here. And then I've got a wing back who is better out wide than any of my wingers in the area where I don't want it. And I've got a winger who's better narrower than any of my wingers in that position because of how Arnie starts to...
Yeah, but now you're limiting your creativity, though.
I'm not limiting my creativity. I'm putting Verts in central positions. I'm putting Soberstein in central positions. I'm putting Salah one-on-one against Luke Shaw.
But remember, it's not about the position, right? Just putting Verts in a central position, we did that against Chelsea. You're putting Verts in a central position, and he actually has someone within 10 yards to pass it to before he gets closed down by 4 men.
He's going to, because provided you break through the first line of the press, which is why I want us to have the back three, you get through the first line of the press, Gravenberch, Frimpong, Kerkez can all then push up the pitch into these positions. Gravenberch stops himself about there. And then what have you got? Verts and Soberstein can operate in these positions. Frimpong can go in or out. Isak is pushed on there. He's going to be sticking purely out because I don't want Verts going out there. And then all of a sudden, I've got players within the support. So it goes to Verts there. Kerkez is there. Gravenberch will be drifting there. Soberstein will be in that pocket. You can go there. You can go there. You can go there.
But
you can turn on it and dribble into that space.
This is assuming that Sesko, Cunha, and Mbeumo are actually going to press the ball carrier. They're not.
So then you're saying that Cunha and Mbeumo are back there?
No. You see where the ball is? Put Cunha and Mbeumo and Sesko all where the ball just was.
What, so like here?
Yeah, put them all there.
Mm-hmm.
Teams have realized they don't have to press Van Dijk. Drag Van Dijk a little bit further back. If Van Dijk has the ball there, teams this season have proved to us they're fine. They will let him stand on the ball right there. Like, I'll come within 10 yards of you, but I don't need to press you because I know that as long as we're occupying these spaces, you have proven that you cannot build out of the press with 4 guys, which is what you just tried to do. You just tried to build out of the press with Jones, Van Dijk, Konate, and Gravenberch. That's the problem. We can't do it with 4. We cannot.
We can do it with 4. We haven't been doing it with the correct 4.
Now, what we can do here... I just disagree there.
For me, it's a case of, right, my insistence is on putting Van Dijk in the middle. Why? Because what this does is opens up the options for Van Dijk. So Van Dijk, in this case, can either push it through the lines because he's the only defender that we've got that can push it through lines. If Gravenberch gets half a yard on Sesko, we can push it through to him. Or if Sesko's covering the passing lanes really well and Cunha's covering the passing lanes really well, what can Van Dijk do? Which we don't see anywhere near enough of, considering how good he is at it.
If this is how you want to play, I would rather Van Dijk just fucking ping it long to Fede
But-
or Mo and just do long balls.
But that's what you can do in this situation. You can spread it out wide to your players in these wider areas. Van Dijk can get it to Frimpong, can get it to Sally, can get it to Kirkers.
Yeah, but then we get into the issue of, well, when Mo gets the ball there, guess what? Everyone who's in the middle of the park is staying in the middle of the park, just waiting for the ball to come to them. Like,
Yep.
there's so many different intangibles, which is why I'm trying not to like break my back over trying to figure out the best formation, the best, combination of players. I just know that I have not seen us once over the last in all of the year 2025. I have not seen us effectively, consistently break through any press with 4 players. Haven't seen it. Don't think it'll happen. Don't care who you buy. I'm hearing people talking about how not getting Gahey has proven to be a massive problem. You're pointing the finger at the fucking symptom. You're basically like, you're saying, "Ow, my leg is hurting," but you're ignoring the fact that your femur is sticking out of it with a compound fracture. Like, hey, buddy, your leg is broken. You might want to go get, doctor, cast, splint, the rest of the whole shebang. To me, it doesn't matter how you slice it. We need 5 to get into the midfield, to get into the opposing half. We need 5 minimum. And ultimately, that's going to end up covering you. It's going to end up covering yourself defensively. You'll make less mistakes, and you'll provide yourself more options by building up through 5. You can actually build a triangle with 5 people, because in order to build a triangle, you need an odd amount of people.
This still goes to, in fact, this builds up at 6, because in the first phase, it's like that. Sorry, it's like that with Gravenberch also here. So he's there.
I know, but what I'm trying to say is that
you're being too idealistic, Tom. Actually,
Tom. What I'm trying to tell you is that I never see the moments that Gravenberch can get into those positions with 4 players, because when it's only 4 players, the other team isn't pressing the ball carrier. They're all sitting in their shape, just waiting. Like, why do you think that Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate combined for like 150 touches against Galatasaray? Because Galatasaray didn't press us. They just sat there with their front 3 and they just waited 20 yards away, because they knew eventually they would get impatient, and they knew that we can't build up with only 4 guys, which is all we tried to do. And so eventually one of these guys is going to get lazy.
It's about try to force something. It's about why can't you build up though? So you're right. The fact is we can't build up through 4. But then I look at the why can't we build up through 4, and I go, well, it's because
the positioning of the front 4. That's why. The positioning of the front 4.
That's a factor, and I won't argue that. That is a 100% a factor. But I also look at it going, well, when we get out to the fullbacks, they have no idea what to do, because the way they want to progress the ball is not intrinsically set up to how this progresses the ball. The fullbacks want to progress the ball by getting it at their feet and running with it, rather than getting it at their feet, opening their body up, drawing a presser in, playing the pass, and breaking the press in that way. So I look at it in this case and go, right, I'm trying. The way I see football is, how can you maximize as many of your players as possible? How can you get as many of your players as possible to do the things that they're best at? And for me, if you play Frimpong, Kirkers, and Gravenberch, all 3 of them are best when they've got the ball driving into space. So this is about creating as much space as possible for them to drive into, to progress the ball, because we don't have enough people who are good enough at getting the ball to feet and passing it.
I want to make one point.
Mm-hmm.
People need to also remember, it's not like we've created nothing the last 3 games. We could have scored more against Chelsea.
We've won every game on XG.
Yeah, we could have scored
Tom
more.
Just doesn't realize this was so open for abuse. He just doesn't get it. Like,
just hear this whole train of thought. Playing the way that we have played, we could have conceded 4 against Crystal Palace in the first half. We also could have scored 4 in the second half. We could have scored more against we actually could have scored against Galatasaray in the first half, not the second half. Second half, there wasn't shit there. We could have scored more against Chelsea. Ultimately, creating chances, even in this system, is still like, there's still opportunities that we're creating. If you go back to that tactics board, when we're in possession, like when we have this, when we're in these sustained lulls of play and the game feels boring, I would rather Florian Wirtz and Soboslai drop to 20 yards, 15 yards, 10 yards in front of Gravenberch. I don't care if that's central. I don't care if that's too tight. I don't care.
So you want it to be almost like so.
I want to shrink the pitch, right? I want everything to compress, right? Let's say Ibrahima Konate has the ball. I want at maximum my forward line to be 30 yards, 40 yards ahead, right? Like again, just in these like sustained spells where like we know this isn't going anywhere. They're in their defensive shape. It is what it is, and the ball's in either in our own half or it's like 25 yards away from our own halfway line in our half.
Mm-hmm.
You're just shrinking the pitch because right now we're just spreading everything apart. And then we look really good at the end of games because we shrink the shit out of the pitch, right? Why is it that we're able to attack like a motherfucker at the end of Bournemouth? Like we're able to attack crazy at the end of Crystal Palace because we shrink everything. So again, regardless of what the shape is, just tighten it up. Again, for these spells.
Play Frimpong. He's already playing him, bro. Look at the pitch.
You don't play the same way for 90 straight minutes. And listen, if you want to leave Mo all the way at the top or you want to leave Isak all the way at the top, whatever, right? But by shrinking it, you're going to create more channels for your wide players. So Kirkes will actually have some freedom to go and make a run. Frimpong will have some freedom to go and make a run. Same thing with Fede or Gakpo. Same thing with Salah or whoever's playing on the right-hand side. Just like that's the best way. I mean, whether I'm using the right terminology, I don't really care. That's just the best way I can describe it. I don't care what the shape is. I don't care who's fucking playing there. Shrink it, right? Make it tighter, make it more compact, give yourself more options. And again, this is just a spell of possession.
We won't even create that many chances though, Mike, with this formation. Because I'm asking Wirtz and like Isak and Salah to just create out of individual brilliance. It's not sustainable creativity. You just Mike just said something. Mike said first half against Crystal Palace they could have scored 5, but in the second half we could have scored 4 or 5. What did the substitution that Slot make? Bring on a winger. That's the difference. That's the main difference. If Slot played this team against Man United, I promise you his first sub is gonna be Wirtz or one of these guys off for Gakpo.
Well, that's a different thing in itself. And like, I'm tired of people saying that Slot is a genius, yet every halftime he has to make a game-changing correction that seemed very obvious at the beginning.
Someone said that instead of correcting your errors, how about don't make errors?
Exactly. I still think that we would create opportunities like that because ultimately, at the end of the day, there's only been one goal that I've seen this entire season that, or even one real opportunity. That was Rio's goal, where everyone touched the ball and the ball even went back into our own half. Otherwise, I mean, I literally sat at my computer the other day and I rewatched every goal. Bournemouth, Ekitike presses the center back and wins the ball on a 50-50. Mohamed Salah's was a clearance. Federico
to be fair, the first Bournemouth goal was a decent move, and then it has
100%. Yeah. McAllister plays in it, but it's still a 50-50 that Bournemouth should have won. Gakpo's goal was just basically a solo.
And Mike, that's my point. I want sustained pressure. I said this before the Chelsea game to Mo, and he used it to mock me. And guess what? Now after the game, people understand why I said what I said. If we lost away at Chelsea 1-0 from a set piece, but we peppered Sanchez's goal and he made 4 or 5 saves, I get it. Because at least the performances are getting better. My problem is the performance ain't getting better. That's the biggest issue I have.
It's just nothing's changing. The performance, listen, if Arne Slot showed, like, it's just right now, I don't know what he's trying to do. Like, when I look at games and I try to analyze anything, I don't know what the ultimate goal of us sustained possession wise is. I don't know what he's trying to achieve with the shape that we have in sustained possession. I see how we look in transition. I see how we look when the other team has a sustained possession and they're playing, U-ball. I don't know what the fuck he's doing when we have the ball for 10 minutes. If I can figure that out in the next game, but the result doesn't go our way, at least I have a positive. And I could have said that about Chelsea, and I could have said that about Galatasaray. And I sat here and I said the same thing after Southampton, and people were like, "Oh, but it was a rotational squad, and it's just the Carabao Cup, and all this, all that." Yet it's the same exact way we're playing now. So to me, it's tactical, and until I figure it out, I'm gonna have to continue to look at him, not the players. Even though some players are I mean, realistically, like they're not playing as well as they should. Regardless of what we want to say about Wirtz, you can look at the assists that he should have. That's not his fault, but he's also missed like 4 or 5 sitters. Should have scored against Arsenal. Should have scored against who was it? Not Galatasaray, the Crystal Palace. Like legit right in front of goal. Maybe Bournemouth was the other one, but I need to see something change. Like in this game, that's all I'm looking for at the moment. We're only 8 games in. If you want to play like dog shit, this is the time to play like dog shit. Like if we want to go through a rough patch.
Oh, not anymore.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
But I'm just saying, this is the time to do it. You're only 1 point back. It's the beginning of the season. This is when you want to be ass. The issue is, I just see us continuing to bang our head against the wall, like we haven't evolved past, being whatever primates. So I need to see something. I need to see something different.
I can show you the same. I can show you 100% the team that Slot will play against.
I'll tell you exactly right now. You already know fucking Soboslai is going to play right back. You already know he's going to start McAllister because he's out of his fucking mind. I think Mo should have been dropped against Chelsea, but you can't drop him against United because he just finds a way against them. You'll see Isak, you'll see Gakpo, because the Dutch don't like the Italians. You'll see Kirkez, Virgil, and Konate, and Gravenberch. And probably
this for me is 100% the lineup against Man United. I dare any of you tell me I'm lying. This is Slot's team right here, 100%. 100%. Soboslai right back.
I'm going to lose my mind.
Konate, Van Dijk, Kirkez, McAllister, Gravenberch, Wirtz, Isak, Salah, Gakpo. That's the team right there. I'm telling you guys from now, that's literally going to be the team.
He's really testing my will, right? Like, I don't want to be one of those guys who is going to sit here and bash him, but he's testing me.
Big up, Mr. Redmondino. I saw you sent me a voice note, but I've been on YouTube for the last 5 hours. Fluidity is the plan, Mike. We shift between 4-2-3-1, 4-2-4, or press on a 3-2 build-up. It's tactical elasticity. The halftime changes is flexibility in action. Yeah, but here's the thing. Instead of correcting our mistakes, how about just don't make the mistake?
But James, the difference I have there is that I have a sample size of 10 months worth of games to show you that overwhelmingly the 4-2-4 doesn't work, and that the 4-2-4 is not what scored us the goals. It's the transition play from conceding possession from the 4-2-4. Or it's just the fact that like we get to that point where it's 25 minutes left and everyone just decides they know how to fucking play football, and all of a sudden the players can create triangles.
When Slot had the summer, Mike, he knew from the beginning he's going to have to make bold decisions. I think the next bold decision is figure out which one of Soboslai, McAllister, and Jones you're going to start and which one you're going to drop. That's it. Don't shoehorn players.
It was a league-winning formula last season where we got ourselves into a tremendous advantage.
It's no longer a league-winning formula.
Yeah, and the only contender continued to fail. Like, how many weeks did we draw and Arsenal also drew? So it became null and void. It was like I remember sitting here and saying, "Yeah, I mean, completely unchanged. We drew, they drew. It is what it is." And you get to the point of the season where you stop looking at performances, and then of course I look at performances, and people say, "Stop looking at performances. You're being negative." Blah blah blah. Ultimately, it's the culmination of that, and it didn't work in the first half of 2025 at the end of last season, and it's not working now. And he's not seeing that it's not working, and that's why I'm pushing towards him, and not as much. Like, I think it's crazy to sit here and say that Konate sucks and he's a liability when you're asking him to be someone that he isn't without any fucking help.
And you're asking him to win every single duel, basically.
Yeah. Same thing goes for Kirkez. Same thing goes. I mean, poor Frimpong, bro. Like, what the fuck does this dude have to do to get a consistent run of games? Because Connor Bradley's off of it, and Soboslai isn't even a right back. And the fact that Maka even sees the pitch on a weekly basis with the way that he's playing, and Cody Gakpo, like, really? Federico Chiesa has a goal every 63 minutes, but we're going to fucking play Cody Gakpo? L1, R1, shoot. That's all he does. Flick the right stick, shoot. That's it. Cut in, shoot. Oh, R1, control dribble, right stick, shoot. Like that's literally that is Cody Gakpo. So I just think, we can sit here and we could talk about symptoms, or we can sit here and we can try to find what the root cause is. You could say that you have a headache.
Solutions. You have to speak about solutions.
Yeah. I'm just speaking to James because we were talking off. I'm not slot out, and I won't be unless we're like 20 points behind in December. Then I'll be like, yeah, he's done. He's out of here. Like he just can't do it. If we're 20 points behind in December and everyone's fully healthy, then yes. But no, I'm not. I just want him to see what other people see and actually change. But if he keeps hammering the nail and it works, then I'll be the first to come here and tell you this is why I don't get paid $5 million a year. But that looking less and less likely.
Anyway, guys, look, I'm gonna wrap up the stream here. This was very enjoyable. Shout out to Mike for coming on. Appreciate you even on away from town. Big up to Tom as well. Despite the fact he's completely wrong, we still love him regardless. Big up to all of you guys, man. We're 10 likes away from 200 likes. Get us 200 likes, guys. That's our target. I enjoyed doing this again. It's gonna be impossible to basically make this like a reoccurrence because of the scheduling of the shows that I have. But I'll try my best to try to get these 3 on the show as much as possible. Regardless, I enjoyed so much, and I'm going to be back tomorrow, inshallah, at 2 p.m. for the Premier League round. LB and Charlie are coming on. I've got a couple of rivals as well coming on, so we're going to keep you entertained throughout this international break. I'm also doing the Sweden-Switzerland game because I'm supporting my striker, Alexander Isak. You get me? I'm supporting him.
You don't need to put yourself through another 90 minutes of Yassine Ayari ball, Husam.
I like Yassine. I like Yassine Ayari. Ain't nothing wrong with Yassine Ayari.
Listen. Isak. I don't know if you guys watched the game last international break for Sweden, but I don't know where you moved after you were born in Sweden, Isak, but I would claim that country. I would figure out a way to get citizenship there and claim that country. Swedish ball is not it.
Big up Sweden. So we're gonna redirect you guys over to the Sanderson show. He's live right now talking about UFC. Redirect over there, and big up, man. Peace out.